contractions and interjections. So what do we mean by them? Well, let's start off with the dictionary definition for interjections. Okay? And for contractions, to explain it very briefly, before we go into a proper lesson about it there, an interjection is basically injecting, isn't it? You're injecting something into the conversation. A sentence can stand by itself without an interjection. Like this one here, for example. Oh, I see what you mean. Take away the oh, and I see what you mean is fine by itself. Yippee! I won the race today. Again, without that interjection, I won the race today is fine. Ahem, ahem. That's like a sound of a cough there. Will you pay attention? Yikes! What a fright I just got. Okay, right, I'm going back onto that one there, but let's go to the next subject quickly, and then let's go back to interjections again. Contractions. This is when we're joining two words together. We're really moving into the area of informal speech here in this lesson. It's how we all talk. It's how we write text messages, for example. It's how we all speak to each other. You'll find interjections and contractions used in novels, stories. You won't find them in formal letters, for example a letter from the council or a letter from your bank manager. If you're, I don't know, sending somebody a cover letter for a job, I advise you not to use contractions or interjections here because they're not really necessary. Okay, it's an area of informal speech, but it's important because it's really how we actually talk. So to get back onto the subject of contractions, for example, a verb like where, sorry, an adverb like where, that's an adverb of place there, where, and possibly the most common verb of all time is. Where is? You change it to where's. Where's the book? It's raining. It is raining. It's raining. Using a pronoun with a verb, he will, he'll. He'll be late home today. Now let's have some more coming up there and coming up from the other direction as well. It's two words joined together, used in an informal speech. Because quite often you wouldn't say the full thing, would you? You wouldn't say, they have had their dinner tonight. They've had their dinner tonight. It's how we talk, isn't it? You know, it's how we talk, so there we have it. As you see, there's quite a few examples coming up for you there. Loads of them, in fact. Okay. Right, so back to interjections now. Let's. I've got a little list of them here, so we can see. Okay, I'm going to put up a great big list for you as well. So, aha, that's how it's done. Aha, that's how it's done. Take away the aha, and it's still absolutely fine. And here's a few more examples for you. I'm going to put you onto the blue screen here and you can see them. What we'll do is we'll show you sentences with interjections in them, and then we'll show you the sentences without the interjections in them. So, there we have it. There are some sentences with interjections and there's some sentences without interjections. You see, a lot of words sound similar in English. Now, I did say earlier on we were injecting something into a conversation or injecting something into a sentence, because you can say that as well, you see. You can interject something into a conversation. May I interject this into the conversation? That's perfectly alright to say that, because you're adding something extra into the conversation. So that's what we're doing in a sentence too. We're interjecting a phrase, an expression. It doesn't have to be any particular word. It doesn't have to be a verb. It doesn't have to be an adverb. It doesn't have to be anything at all. It could be anything. It can be more than one word as well. Okay, and a sentence can stand perfectly okay without an interjection. That's the important point. Now, what is very important to learn about these interjections here? It's all over now. Amen. Now, you'll see when I've put it's all over now, using a contraction there, it's all over now, comma, am. That is important, okay? Because we're interjecting a word into the sentence. It can stand perfectly alright without it. So it's separate from the sentence, alright? It's separate. So in most, as in 99% I'd say of interjections, you need to have an apostrophe. Okay? Cheers. That was very kind of you. Cheers. Comma, that was very kind of you. Stop! You can't go in there. Stop. Here you see we've put an exclamation mark. Stop. Now, you'd put in an exclamation mark, alright, if you feel the interjection deserves it. Okay? Help! I can't get out! Works with the exclamation mark there, doesn't it? Help! You know, it's a startling thing to say. If you're in trouble, you say help. But as you see, the sentence actually worked okay without the interjection help there. There is no golden rule about exclamation marks or commas. Okay, there aren't, say, certain words which say, oh no, you can't use that, you can't use an exclamation mark after that word. It all depends what you're actually saying in the sentence, alright? Boo! I didn't half scare you there. Boo! I didn't half scare you there. Oh, that should be okay then. Oh. Now this is a word, oh. This word here you can actually find in the dictionary, and it's actually listed as an interjection, which is quite unusual. It's very hard to find any word in the dictionary actually listed as an interjection, but the word oh is. Oh, that'll be alright then. Somebody recently sent me an email saying, well then, I wish you a happy birthday. So there's an example of a two-worded interjection. Well then, I wish you a happy birthday. Very important. Let's bring it up again by magic. Bing! Well then, I wish you a happy birthday. Very important, the comma there. The sentence can work without well then, but with it, you're interjecting it. You've got to separate it from the main text of the sentence. Therefore, commas and exclamation marks are important. Just to stop you getting confused about exclamation marks, the vast majority of interjections are used in sentences with commas separating them from the rest of the sentence and not exclamation marks. Okay? Goodness gracious me, that was a long cue. There you have it, a 3-word interjection. Goodness gracious me, that was a long cue. That was a long cue. You see, you can get rid of the interjection there. Now, will you listen to what I am saying? Now, will you listen to what I'm saying? Now is, of course, an adverb of time. But with interjections, we don't worry about whether a word is a verb or an adverb or anything. Okay? Now will you pay attention? Will you pay attention is fine by itself. Now, that's the word there. It's getting your attention. Now, will you pay attention? Look, I'm not going to tell you again. Okay, dokie. Doesn't matter whereabouts in the sentence they're used either. I'm not going out today, no. I am not going out today. No, I'm not going out today, comma, interjection there, no. Wow, what a wonderful song that was. Okay. I have used an exclamation mark for that one there because I think it merited it, didn't it? Wow! What a wonderful song that was. I just dropped the milk, whoops, and it's went all over the place. So I'm going to put that sentence up. Have you figured out where to put the comma? Have you got it? It's not just one comma there, it's 2 commas. I have dropped the milk, whoops, and it's went all over the place. We're interjecting whoops into the sentence, and 1 comma there wouldn't suffice because the sentence is carrying on after we have put in the interjection. Yay! It's great to hear from you again. So, this is the old homestead, huh? There's the word huh at the end of the sentence. That would work okay as well at the beginning. Huh. So this is old homestead. Hi, how are you today? What? You're not drinking tonight? Okay, so a lot of the words there, these, I'm going to give you a big list of them now, a great big scrolling list of examples. Alright, some 2-worded interjections, 3-worded interjections, big variety of them there. Quite often they're words that you don't see in the dictionary, of course. You would expect to see things like gee and ahem and aha there, or whoops. Okay, but these are words that we put into a sentence to make it more colourful. Very informal. For example, you could write interjections. Let's say, for example, you are writing an essay. You can put interjections into this essay, providing they're used in somebody's speech. Now, we can use interjections in our written work if you're asked to write a composition, an essay, okay, a composition. You can use interjections there, for example, when you're describing somebody's speech. The next door neighbour came to my house and he said, "Gee, it's great to see you, Ray." So that's fine there. But you wouldn't, for example, say, "Gee, it's great living here. It's so wonderful living on the coast. Wow." And I hope that gives you a good idea about interjections. Practice them yourself. Put them into your sentences. They act very like adverbs do. Okay? Adverbs of manner. They act very similar, don't they? Oh, it was really cold today. You could put this one in, couldn't you, there? You could put brrr. It was really cold today. Oh, that's a very nice cat. Very there being your adverb of manner. Right, so that gives you a good idea of interjections. So we're now returning to contractions, okay? Positive contractions. He will go out tomorrow. Negative contraction. He won't go out tomorrow. Very important to know about your apostrophes here as well. Negative contraction. I can't see you today. So that would normally be I cannot see you today. So you've got to think, well, what letter are we missing out there? Cannot. Cannot. Well, you're missing out an O, aren't you? So the apostrophe replaces the letter you're missing out. He would have been here today, writing in the perfect tense there. He would have been here today. Let's make that into a contraction. He, let's get rid of the other words and just stick to the would have. Now, can you think of the letters we're going to miss out there to actually make a contraction? Would have. Would have. Because your apostrophe is replacing the letters we have removed from the two words to actually make it a contraction. So let's give you some more. Let's put you onto a blue screen here and give you some more examples of contractions. I hope that helps. Now, it's very, very important, okay, to know that contractions can be used with pronouns, proper nouns, adverbs, all manner of different words. Ray's hair is nice. Now that was a trick. That was a trick there, okay? Because that isn't a contraction. Ray's hair is nice. So you think Ray's, Ray being a proper noun, being my name, Ray's. Well, there's not two Rays, there's only one of me here, thank heavens for that. Ray's. What? Ray is, hair is nice? That doesn't make any sense. Of course it doesn't. So that isn't a contraction at all. Ray's hair is nice. You would put an apostrophe there because we're not talking about two Rays, there's only one. We put an apostrophe there, but it's not a contraction. It's just, basically it's a figure of speech. It's what we do in the verb-subject agreement. Okay, and the subject there, because you can't say Ray hair is nice. Ray hair is nice. It doesn't make any sense. So you need the S there. To show everybody we're not talking about more than one Ray, you put Ray's hair is nice. I hope that makes sense to you. The cat's hair is furry. There is only one cat, there's not two cats, and it's not a contraction because it's not two separate words. Okay, it's not like the cat is hair is furry. It doesn't make any sense at all. So you just got to remember that. My jacket's too big for me is a contraction. My jacket is too big for me is how that would be written, not using a contraction there. My jacket is too big for me. Absolutely fine. My jacket's too big for me. Okay? Using a noun there and a verb. My jacket's too big for me. Okie dokie. So there's all sorts of different examples. The one X is a very interesting one. Okay? It's sunny today. Absolutely fine, that's an obvious one. It being a pronoun, is being a verb, join them together and it's sunny today. Absolutely fine. What about when we do this? The building is nice. Its doors are the best. The building is nice. Its doors are the best. Its doors are the best. You see? So you've got to be careful when you're writing that out there that you're not putting an apostrophe there. With that example of its, we do not use the apostrophe. It is just that. It's. Okay? It's, I-T-S, it's. A couple more examples of that, alright? A couple of examples where you are putting the apostrophe and a couple of examples where you're not putting an apostrophe here. So, I hope that helps you understand two different things in the subject of English, namely interjections and contractions. Right. I'll see you all in the next lesson, which will be conjunctives, or if you like, joining words. Words like these. Let's put them over here actually. Words we use to join a sentence together. We use in long sentences to avoid using short sentences. I'll explain all that in the next video. That's the next lesson anyway. Conjunctives, or if you like, joining words. That's next, but let's get on to the quiz now. Let's see how well you've understood the subject of interjections and contractions. 20 questions in the quiz. Good luck to you, and I'll see you all in the next show.